Hey there, folks. I've got a story for you. It's about an adventure I had in the Whispering Woods. Now, let me tell you. Those woods weren't just any ordinary woods. They were shrouded in mystery, whispers, and shadows that danced in the moonlight. I remember it like it was yesterday. The air was thick with an eerie silence, broken only by the rustle of leaves and the occasional snap of a twig underfoot. My heart pounded in my chest as I ventured deeper into the darkness. Every step felt like a journey into the unknown. I couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching me, working just beyond the reach of my flashlight. But I pressed on, driven by a mix of curiosity and fear. As I walked, the trees seemed to close in around me, their branches reaching out like gnarled fingers ready to snatch me away. Shadows danced on the forest floor, playing tricks on my mind and sending shivers down my spine. Then I heard it, a faint whisper carried on the wind. It was soft at first, barely audible above the rustling leaves. But it grew louder with each passing moment, words twisted and distorted, like a twisted melody from a forgotten era. I tried to ignore it, to push it to the back of my mind. But it refused to be silenced. It called to me, drawing me deeper into the heart of the woods, where the darkness was thickest and the secrets were darkest. And that's when I saw it, a figure standing among the trees, its eyes glowing like fiery embers in the night. I froze in terror, unable to tear my gaze away from the haunting sight. The figure beckoned to me, its voice a sinister whisper that sent chills down my spine. I wanted to run, to flee from the darkness closing in around me, but I was rooted to the spot, powerless against the pull of the unknown. With each step I took, the whispers grew louder, until they were all I could hear. They filled my mind, twisting my thoughts and clouding my judgment. I was lost in a sea of darkness, consumed by the shadows that lurked within the Whispering Woods. But then, just as suddenly as it had begun, the whispers stopped. The figure vanished into the night, leaving me alone in the darkness once more. I stumbled out of the woods, shaken but alive. The Whispering Woods had taken their toll on me, leaving me with more questions than answers. But one thing was certain. I would never forget the terror of that night, or the whispered secrets that lingered within those haunted woods. So, if you ever find yourself wandering near the Whispering Woods, remember this tale, and heed the warnings of those who have walked its darkened paths. For in the heart of those woods, there are mysteries best left undisturbed, and whispers that should never be heard. Hey there, folks, gather round, and let me tell you a tale that'll send shivers down your spine. It's about the haunted manor that stands at the edge of town, where shadows dance and secrets lurk in every corner. I remember the day I first laid eyes on that old mansion. Its crumbling walls loomed over the landscape like a silent sentinel, guarding its dark secrets from prying eyes. The air was heavy with a sense of foreboding, and even the bravest souls dared not venture too close. But curiosity got the best of me, and I found myself drawn to the manor like a moth to a flame. I stepped through the creaking gate and into the overgrown garden, where weeds choked the life from once vibrant flowers. As I made my way to the front door, a chill swept through the air, sending a shiver down my spine. The door groaned on its hinges as I pushed it open, revealing a world shrouded in darkness and mystery. I stepped into the foyer, where dust motes danced in the dim light filtering through the boarded-up windows. The air was thick with the scent of decay, and every creak of the floorboards echoed through the empty halls. I explored room after room, each one filled with echoes of the past. Faded portraits lined the walls, their eyes following me as I passed. Shadows flitted in the corners of my vision, whispering secrets that I could not decipher. And then, I heard it, a soft moan that seemed to echo from the depths of the manor itself. My blood ran cold as the sound grew louder, filling the air with an otherworldly lament that sent shivers down my spine. I followed the sound to the top of the staircase, where a door stood slightly ajar. With trembling hands, I pushed it open, revealing a room bathed in moonlight. The air was thick with the scent of roses, and a chill wind whispered through the open window, and there, standing in the center of the room, was a figure cloaked in shadow. Its eyes gleamed with a malevolent light, and its voice echoed through the silence like a ghostly whisper. I tried to flee, to escape the clutches of the haunted manor, but it was too late. The shadows closed in around me, dragging me deeper into the darkness with each passing moment. But just when it seemed that all hope was lost, a ray of light pierced the darkness, banishing the shadows and revealing the truth hidden within the haunted manor. I stumbled out of the manor, shaken but alive, and vowed never to return to that cursed place again. For in the heart of the haunted manor, there are secrets that should never see the light of day, and darkness that threatens to consume all who dare to tread its haunted halls. So, if you ever find yourself drawn to the edge of town, remember this tale and steer clear of the haunted manor that stands silent and alone, waiting to claim its next victim. Gather round, dear listeners, for I have a tale that will chill you to the bone. It's the legend of the haunted manor that stands at the edge of our town, where the echoes of the past linger in every shadow and every creaking floorboard. The manor, with its weather-beaten facade and overgrown gardens, had long been a source of dread and fascination for the townsfolk. Many claimed to have seen strange lights flickering in its windows at night, while others swore they heard ghostly whispers drifting on the wind. I, too, was drawn to the mysteries of the manor. On a moonlit night, when the world seemed to hold its breath, I ventured beyond the wrought iron gates and into the heart of the darkness. The gardens, once vibrant with life, now lay in ruin, tangled with weeds and thorns that seemed to reach out and ensnare the unwary. I pressed on, my heart pounding in my chest, until I reached the imposing front doors of the manor. With trembling hands, I pushed open the doors, and a gust of cold wind greeted me, carrying with it the scent of decay and neglect. The forest stretched out before me, its grandeur faded and crumbling, a mere shadow of its former glory. I stepped cautiously into the darkness, the floorboards groaning beneath my weight. The air was thick with an oppressive silence, broken only by the sound of my own breathing and the faint rustle of leaves outside. Room by room, I explored the manor, each one filled with relics of a bygone era. Dust-covered portraits lined the walls, their eyes following my every move with a cold, unseeing gaze. Furniture lay draped in tattered sheets, as if waiting for the return of occupants long departed. But it was not the relics of the past that sent shivers down my spine. It was the feeling of being watched, of unseen eyes boring into my very soul. I could sense a presence lurking in the shadows, a malevolent force that hungered for something beyond my understanding. And then I heard it, the sound of footsteps echoing through the empty halls, growing louder with each passing moment. I froze in terror, my heart pounding in my chest as the footsteps drew nearer and nearer. With a sudden rush of courage, I followed the sound to the top of the staircase, where a door stood slightly ajar. The air grew colder with each step I took, and a sense of dread settled over me like a suffocating blanket. I pushed open the door and stepped into the room beyond, my breath catching in my throat at the sight before me. The room was bathed in an ethereal glow, the moonlight casting long shadows across the floor, and there, standing in the center of the room, was a figure cloaked in darkness, its eyes gleaming with a malevolent light. It spoke in a voice that seemed to reverberate through the very walls, filling the room with an otherworldly presence. I tried to flee, to escape the clutches of the haunted manor, but it was too late. The shadows closed in around me, dragging me deeper into the darkness with each passing moment. But just when it seemed that all hope was lost, a ray of light pierced the darkness, banishing the shadows and revealing the truth hidden within the haunted manor. I stumbled out of the manor, shaken but alive, and vowed never to return to that cursed place again. For in the heart of the haunted manor, there are secrets that should never see the light of day, and darkness that threatens to consume all who dare to tread its haunted halls. So, if you ever find yourself drawn to the edge of town, remember this tale and steer clear of the haunted manor that stands silent and alone, waiting to claim its next victim.